Hello everybody. Truth, facts and knowledge are about things or events that we're pretty confident are real or might have occurred. Fiction is the product of our imaginations, a polite word for lies or fantasy. Books are generally categorized in a binary fashion as fiction or non-fiction, and then subdivided into various categories or genres. Books about history, biography, travel, cooking, childcare, textbooks on everything from aeronautics to zoology are supposed to reflect the truth as far as the author can determine it. Harry Potter, some may be disappointed to know, is pure fiction, the product of a master storyteller with a great imagination. The character doesn't exist, never has, and neither does Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. But wait a minute. There is a kind of reality even in the most fictional places. People even run tours to Hogwarts. Is a place real if you believe in it, if you believe it is real? After all, Muslims and Christians and some other religions believe in paradise, heaven, and hell. People describe exactly what these places are like. The belief can be so convincing that wars get fought over the details, and some seek martyrdom, convinced there will be virginal delights waiting for them. How real do you need to be? Milton's Paradise Lost is classed as fiction. It's a creative and imaginative epic poem that reimagines the fall of man. The story of the fall of man is a shared narrative in Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. It reports the events surrounding the disobedience of the first human beings, Adam and Eve, and their subsequent expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Milton relied on the book of Genesis in the Bible. Believers in all the Abrahamic religions will consider it an article of faith that the story is true. Milton added his insights to what many believe to be a fully truthful narrative. Still, his characters, dialogues, and the events in the poem are crafted with artistic license. Most would say making it a work of literary fiction. Fact or fiction? Fact in fiction, if you accept the facts. I'm not here to argue that one. And this episode is not about what constitutes fact, belief, or faith in the truth of the various religions. I'll give another example, perhaps where my point gets made a little clearer. Tolkien's saga, Lord of the Rings, like Harry Potter, is a work of vivid imagination. But it's well known that Tolkien set much of his events in places he knew very well. The rolling Cotswold Hills around Oxford inspired the Hobbit's home, the Shire. Wytham Wood, shown here, was his inspiration for the walking trees called Ents, and became the fictional Fangorn Forest, where the Ents reside. Wytham is a real place. The White Horse in the village is a great pub. Go there. Probably there are no Ents, but you never know. What set me off on this track today? It was the release of the biopic Napoleon. The facts are well known as any, and there's a huge scholarly and popular literature about the man and his times. Yet director Ridley Scott, slammed for his many inaccuracies in the movie, told the interviewer, "Get a life." Well, okay. But look, movies have an enormous impact, and I think there's a reasonable argument that while you don't want to make a boring documentary, you might want to get at the truth in another way, but try to be accurate in doing so. My historical fiction is based solidly on fact. I do the necessary reading, hours of research, tenfold the time on research as I spend on writing copy. When I describe, say, a battle, at least I've read every account, looked at the site on Google Earth, and in the case of the Battle of Hastings, my dear friend Bob Lindley kindly went to the battlefield, walked it, took photos, and reported his impressions. At least we know what the slope looks like that the Normans had to struggle up that warm day in October 1066. My leading protagonist is, of course, imaginary, but many people he meets are real, and I read their writings and what's written about them. My next book, Guardian of Kings, is the best research yet. I've sweated over it like a PhD thesis. Perhaps a bit too much. Still, it is fiction. But here's the question. Do you like books that combine facts and fiction? If you do, and you like my book, Gateway to Gandamak, take a trip. Go to Ivy Suites, the boutique hotel in the Shamla Hills in Bhopal in India. It's where my imaginary narrator, Lord Krishna, meets my semi-fictional main character. Order a beer, look out across the lake as he does, and see the lights of the city twinkling. Krishna might join you, or do you prefer complete imagination? Total fantasy, Game of Thrones. I'm not sure I'm up to it. I suspect it takes more creative talent than I have to write a book like that. But that's another episode. Tell me what you like. Non-fiction, semi-fiction with well-documented facts that you can go and check if you want to dig into it that much, or fiction that might just be real, or complete fantasy with dragons. Let me know what type of book you prefer in the comments. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed it, give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe. See you next time.